Welcome to another video on artificial intelligence. Microsoft has recently released Foundry Local, which can be used to deploy and run AI models on your local hardware. This works similar to Ulama or ML Studio. So to get started, this is a preview. I have here a Windows 10 machine and we're going to install first Foundry Local. And in order to interact with it, we will use Open WebUI, which is also not installed, but we will do this on the machine and configure the integration. So to get started on this machine, I have already installed Python and winget, and installing Foundry is the easiest way. So we can go here to the documentation, and it simply says we can copy this code and run on our machine to install Foundry. This takes a few seconds to download all the necessary components, and in the second step we will download a foundation model and try to interact with it. The model is installed and already running. Now we can interact with it. For example, we can ask it to say hello in German, and it says hello. So the model is running, and in the next step we are going to install Open WebUI. There are a ton of possibilities how you can install WebUI with different tools. You can run it via Docker, install it via Python, whatever. I would like to install it via Python, and for convenience we can also copy the instructions from the site here. So it requires a PowerShell. And I'm going to run the PowerShell as administrator and execute the command. So in the next step we should run the second command. It needs a restart in the console in order to understand the UVX tool that we've installed with the first command. And again, this will take a few moments and minutes to understand everything that is needed for Open WebUI, and I will pause the video and come back when the installation is done. The installation is still running, but I just want to show you what is going on when you do the same. So a lot of stuff is downloading and installing, and again, this is not very interesting, so we'll pause the video and come back later. Downloading the packages took about 10 minutes in my case, and now it's installing WebUI, which will also take a few moments to install. So it should be running, and we can check if it is opening. Yes, it is, and it wants a name, an email address, and a password. And then we have to do some configuration. So from down here we go to the admin portal, to the settings, and from the settings, we go to the connections. I disable this here because I don't need it. To interact with Foundry Local, we are using direct connection. So I'm saving this configuration. And now from the user account, go to settings, go to connections, and we create a new direct connection. And here we have to check the address that is created when running Foundry. And be aware that the port is changing. So when you are stopping and starting Foundry, you're very likely to have a different port here. So you have to change it. And add v1 here. And in the current state, we are selecting no authentication. And click save. This should be enough. And as you can see, now we have the model that is running in Foundry, and we can ask it to do stuff. For example, explain retrieval augmented generation for a non-technician with not more than 250 words. And now our local AI model will do this and create a text for us that explains retrieval augmented generation. So that's it. It's very simple to install and configure. Please be aware that Foundry Local is in a public preview state, and if you're watching this video on a later day, you might have to check the documentation because maybe a lot of things will change and Microsoft will do stuff. I think especially in the configuration and authentication will a lot be different, but if you want to try it right now, let's go and have fun. Thanks for watching and goodbye.